Beyond the furthest reaches of our imagination lies a world steeped in such profound myth and legend that it has captivated hearts for generations. A world where the very fabric of existence was woven with words of power and the melody of creation.
Today, we turn the pages back to the dawn of time, to the first words of a story that precedes even the renowned tales of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Join us, fellow travelers, as we embark on a journey through the ages, unraveling the epic saga of the Silmarillion. From the majestic Valar to the noble Elves, from the deepest desires to the grandest of wars, we'll explore the ancient myths that are the cornerstone of Middle-earth.
Let the story begin.
In the beginning, there was Eru, the one who in Arda is called Ilúvatar, and from his thoughts emerged the Ainur, beings of great power and grace.
So, they're like gods?
In a way, yes, but it's more complex than that. They helped shape the world through a symphony, a divine music that gave birth to the reality as we know it.
A symphony? That's an unusual way to create a world.
Indeed, it is, but not all was harmonious. Melkor, the mightiest of the Ainur, sought to alter the music for his own design, introducing discord.
The classic tale of power corrupting?
Exactly. His rebellion led to the creation of a world filled with both beauty and strife. This is the backdrop of our story, where the stage is set for the epic tales of elves, men, dwarves, and the fate of the entire world of Arda.
And what about these Silmarils? What are they?
Ah, the Silmarils. 3 perfect jewels crafted by Fëanor, the most gifted of the elven smiths. They glowed with the light of the 2 trees, the source of all life in Arda.
They must be incredibly precious.
More than you can imagine. They became the heart of the conflict, coveted by all, leading to wars and the eventual downfall of mighty kingdoms.
It sounds like a tragic tale.
It is, but it's also a tale of hope, of heroes and heroines, of great deeds and sacrifices. It's the story of how even the smallest actions can change the course of the world.
I can't wait to hear more. What happens next?
After the world was shaped, the Valar, the powers of Arda, descended into the world to prepare it for the coming of the children of Ilúvatar, elves and men.
The Valar, they're like guardians?
Precisely. Each had their own domain and purpose. All, the smith, crafted the bones of the earth, while Ulmo, Lord of Waters, filled the seas and rivers.
And the elves and men, they lived in harmony with the Valar.
Initially, yes. But remember Melkor? His shadow loomed large, and he desired to rule over all. His malice spread, tainting the world.
There's always a villain lurking, isn't there?
Indeed. But let's not forget about the Maiar, lesser Ainur who served the Valar. Among them was Mairon, who you might know better as Sauron.
The Dark Lord himself? This just keeps getting better.
He was once a noble Maia, but Melkor's influence corrupted him. Together, they wrought chaos, leading to the first wars of Arda.
It's like a never-ending battle between good and evil.
That's the essence of it. But it's the depth of the characters, their struggles and triumphs, that truly captivate us.
I'm already captivated. What's next in this saga?
As the stars first adorned the night sky, the elves awoke by the waters of Cuivi Nen, their eyes reflecting the light of the heavens.
The firstborn, under the stars. It's poetic.
Their awakening was a pivotal moment. The elves were destined to be the fairest and wisest of all creatures, a reflection of Ilúvatar's thought.
And Melkor? Was he still a threat?
He was imprisoned by the Valar for his deeds, giving the world a brief respite. But even from the depths of his cell, his malice seeped out.
No peace lasts forever, I guess.
True, but let's focus on the elves. They were not alone for long. The Valar, learning of their existence, decided to act.
To protect them?
Exactly. They invited the elves to Valinor, a land free from the taint of Melkor. Many heeded the call and embarked on a great journey.
A journey to safety, to paradise.
But not all elves wished to leave their birthplace. Those who stayed behind are known as the Avari, the unwilling.
A division among the elves. That's intriguing.
It is. And those who went to Valinor became known as the Eldar, the people of the stars. Their story is one of wonder and tragedy.
I'm sensing a theme here.
The Silmarillion is rich with themes. Now, the stage is set for the greatest tales of Middle-earth, where the fates of elves and men intertwine.
I'm all ears for the next chapter.
The Silmarils were not mere jewels. They were the embodiment of the light of the two trees, the very essence of Valinor.
So they held the light of paradise itself?
Indeed, and Fëanor, their creator, bound his life force to them. His passion for the Silmarils was unmatched even by the Valar.
That sounds intense.
It was. His obsession led to the Noldor's unrest. The Elves began to covet the power and beauty of the Silmarils, sowing seeds of discord.
And Melkor, he was still in the picture.
After a time, he was freed, feigning repentance. But he whispered lies into the ears of the Noldor, fueling their desire and pride.
A manipulator at work. Classic villain move.
Exactly. His influence was profound. It led to the first kinslaying among the Elves, a stain upon their history.
They fought each other over jewels?
Not just any jewels. The Silmarils were irreplaceable, and so, the Noldor, led by Fëanor, swore a terrible oath. They vowed to retrieve the Silmarils at any cost, even if it meant battling the Valar.
That's a recipe for disaster.
A disaster it was. The oath drove the Noldor to leave Valinor, marking the beginning of their long exile and the many sorrows that followed.
It's like watching a train wreck. You know it's going to end badly, but you can't look away.
And that's the power of this story. It draws you in, making you a witness to the grandeur and the folly of its characters.
I'm definitely drawn in. What happens after they leave Valinor?
The departure of the Noldor was but a prelude to greater sorrow. Back in Valinor, Melkor, now named Morgoth, and his accomplice Ungoliant, a being of darkness, plotted a heinous act.
Morgoth, that's a menacing name.
Fitting for the dark deeds he committed. They destroyed the two trees, plunging Valinor into darkness and stealing the Silmarils.
He actually did it. He stole the light of Valinor?
Yes, and with it, the hope of the Elves. It was a catastrophe that shook the very foundations of the world.
An unforgivable crime.
In response, the Valar fortified Valinor against him, and Morgoth fled to Middle-earth, where he established his dark fortress of Angband.
So, he took the light and ran away with it.
Exactly, and the Noldor, burning with vengeance, pursued him, despite the Valar's warnings. They were now exiles, forever barred from the Blessed Realm.
It's a tale of loss and vengeance then.
And of a relentless pursuit of justice, albeit tainted by pride and wrath. The Noldor's quest led to great battles and the rise of heroes among elves and men.
Heroes born from tragedy. That's a powerful narrative.
Indeed. Their deeds are etched into the very fabric of Middle-earth's history, a testament to their unyielding spirit.
I can see why this story has endured through the ages.
The Noldor's flight from Valinor was marked by hardship and sorrow. Their path was fraught with peril, and the sea itself seemed to rise against them.
They faced nature's wrath as well.
Indeed, the Valar, in their anger, had cursed their journey, but the Noldor were resolute, driven by the oath they had sworn.
An oath that led them into exile. It's tragic.
Tragedy often follows pride. Yet, it was during these dark times that the greatest of the elven realms in Middle-earth were founded.
From darkness came light then?
Precisely. Kingdoms like Gondolin, Nargothrond, and Doriath rose, beacons of hope in a land overshadowed by Morgoth's malice.
And the Silmarils, were they still with Morgoth?
Yes, set upon his iron crown, they shone like stars of defiance against the Noldor. Their light was a constant reminder of what was lost, and what could be regained.
It's like they were taunting the elves.
In a way, yes. And so began the long war against Morgoth, a conflict that would span centuries and shape the destiny of all the free peoples of Middle-earth.
Centuries? That's a long time to hold a grudge.
When eternity is at your fingertips, time takes on a different meaning. But let's not forget, this is more than a grudge. It's a quest for justice, for the restoration of what was wrongfully taken.
A noble cause, indeed.
And in this cause, we'll see alliances forged, heroes rise, and the relentless pursuit of a seemingly unattainable goal.
The makings of an epic tale.
The Elven kingdom stood as a testament to the Noldor's resilience. Gondolin, the hidden city, was a jewel of architecture, veiled from the eyes of the enemy.
A hidden city? That's fascinating.
Yes, and its king, Turgon, was as wise as he was valiant. Meanwhile, Finrod Felagund founded Nargothrond, a stronghold by the river Narog, and Thingol established the kingdom of Doriath, protected by a magical barrier.
Magic and might, a formidable combination.
Indeed. But the mightiest of all was Morgoth, who sat in his dark throne in Angband, plotting the downfall of these realms.
So, the stage was set for conflict.
A conflict that would see the rise of heroes like Fingolfin, who challenged Morgoth to single combat, and Lúthien, whose beauty and power were unmatched.
They sound like legendary figures.
They were. Their deeds are sung in the halls of history, inspiring all who hear them.
And the Silmarils, did they play a part in these tales?
Always, they were the heart of many quests and the cause of much sorrow. The desire to reclaim them drove elves and men to both greatness and despair.
It's a powerful story, Noah, one that speaks of the enduring spirit in the face of overwhelming darkness.
That's the essence of the Silmarillion. It's a story of light enduring in the darkest of times, of hope persisting against all odds.
I'm eager to hear more. What comes next?
As the shadow of Morgoth grew, the lands of Beleriand fell under siege. The Elven kingdoms, once proud and strong, faced the might of the Dark Lord.
Their fall was inevitable, wasn't it?
It may have seemed so. The wars were brutal, and the elves suffered great losses. But remember, in darkness, the smallest light shines brightest.
A glimmer of hope?
Exactly. Heroes emerged, like Fingolfin, High King of the Noldor, who in a moment of desperation, rode alone to Angband to face Morgoth.
That's incredibly brave, or foolish.
Perhaps a bit of both. Their duel was legendary, the clash of their weapons heard across the land. Fingolfin wounded Morgoth 7 times before falling.
He wounded the Dark Lord? That's impressive.
Indeed. And though he perished, his valor inspired all of Middle-earth. It was a turning point, showing that Morgoth was not invincible.
So, what happened next? Did the elves take advantage of this?
In time, they did. The seeds of rebellion were sown, and the free peoples of Middle-earth began to unite against their common foe.
Unity in the face of adversity. It's a powerful message.
One that resonates through the ages. The struggle continued, with victories and defeats on both sides. But the spirit of the elves never waned.
And the Silmarils, did they ever reclaim them?
The fate of the Silmarils is a tale unto itself, intertwined with the destinies of many. But that's a story for another time.
You've certainly piqued my curiosity, Noah. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest.
The tale of the Silmarils is one of great battles, where the fate of the world hung by a thread. The elves, united with men, fought valiantly against the forces of Morgoth.
United they stood, but did they stand a chance?
Their chances were slim, but their courage was boundless. The War of Wrath, it was called, the greatest conflict Arda had ever seen.
War of Wrath, an apt name.
In this war, the skies were filled with the dragons of Morgoth, and the seas rose at the command of the Valar. It was a clash of titans.
Dragons and gods, it's like a myth come to life.
More than myth, this was the history of a world not so unlike our own. In the end, Morgoth was defeated, cast out into the void.
And the Silmarils?
Recovered, but at great cost. They were lost again, scattered, one in the sky, one in the sea, and one in the earth.
So, they were never truly reclaimed.
Not by those who sought them, but their light endures in the stars, in the depths, and in the rich earth. The Silmarils' legacy is a reminder that some treasures are too great for any one being to possess.
A bittersweet ending.
But an ending that brings us full circle. The story of the Silmarillion is a cycle of creation and destruction, of loss and recovery, of despair and hope.
It's a story that tells us even the greatest darkness can be overcome.
Exactly. And that, dear Olivia, is the tale of the Silmarillion, a story of beginnings and endings, and the enduring light that outlasts the darkness.
Thank you, Noah. This has been a journey I won't soon forget.